Hello, movie lovers, and welcome to our movie show for Deadpool. That's right. It's not going to be the review this time. It's going to be the Easter eggs. You guys requested the fact that you guys want us to do some more Easter eggs and stuff like that for our posting. So here it is. So what we're going to do is we're going to go around the table. We're going to discuss our 5 Easter eggs that we saw in the movie, and all together you should be able to have a nice little segment of Easter eggs just for you guys.
15.
All right. 15.
There you go. 3 times 5 is 15. Yay!
Anyways, it's fun learning with Roberto, by the way. So anyways, the first thing that I want to get to...
Hang on, wait, no, we can't do this yet. As you know, we always do sponsorships here on our show, whether unofficially or officially so, we're still going to do the sponsorships. And this video is sponsored by Panda Express, where you can get chicken teriyaki, and also a Chinese version of a chimichanga, an egg roll. So go get some Panda. Now we can start.
Okay, so after our endorsement, whether they like it or not, we now have this is going to be my little, this is actually going to be my Easter eggs. Number 1, we have the street signs on the...
You're only allowed 2.
Huh? What's that?
He didn't get it.
I didn't get
You said, here are my Easter eggs, and I'm like, you're only allowed 2.
Okay, you officially broke me. Okay.
Snapped like Bane.
Alright. So, here's going to be my 5 Easter eggs. Well, I'm going to go with my one, and then Roberto will go with his one, and then Timothy will go with his one, and then go back to me.
I have 5.
Well, we're going to go... And anyways, either way it goes, it's going to be down to 1. It's going to be, either way it goes, it's going to be fun, okay? So, I go one, you know what I'm saying, we go around doing our number 1s, and then after that we go to number 2, then 3, then 4, then 5.
Which equals up to?
15.
Yay!
Okay, let's go.
We can count.
Okay. So,
We have degrees.
the street signs on the bridge are the names of the creators and the directors of the movie. To me, I thought that was actually pretty cool that we actually got to see that in the street signs whenever he was fighting Colossus. And then behind there, I actually saw where I was like, okay, I see Miller there, I see the director. I said, this is actually pretty cool. And then you even see Peter Parker, like not his first, but you got to see Parker's last name. So I thought that was a nice little touch to the MCU. Even if they are 2 different companies, they still do like a little tap of the hat thing to tell us, okay, you know, just because they're not in our universe, we can still do that in a fun way. So that was number 1 for me. So we're gonna go to Roberto for his number 1.
Okay, alright. So this was actually confirmed after the fact. When I was watching the movie, I've only seen it once, but when I was watching the movie, I thought that this was a possibility, and it actually was confirmed after via some concept art for the movie. But the final fight in the movie is actually taking place on a crashed helicarrier, rumored to be from the Winter Soldier, which, again, they can't really say that, but it's kind of a fun little nod to if, you know, the X-Men ever make it over to the MCU, to kind of have a bridge there and kind of say, hey, by the way, that fight was actually in your universe and y'all didn't even know it. But that's kind of mine. Like I said, it was confirmed via, I think it was Screen Rant, if I remember. But one of the artists, they posted it, and it was actually a helicarrier, and I was like, yes, way to stick it to Marvel. And now?
Okay.
Hold on. Is my mic working?
Yes, it's working.
Alright, there we go.
Yes,
Alright,
yes.
good. Alright. My number 1 is the pizza delivery scene that was actually featured in an actual Deadpool comic, number 10 from 2012. What did you say, Rob? He actually kills the guy in the comic? I've never read it.
In the comic, he actually shoots the bro in the face, the pizza guy. Which he didn't do in the movie, but other than that, I mean, it was ripped right out of the comic. I actually saw the panels, and like they were showing pictures of the movie itself, and it was like ripped right out of the panels of the comics. It was fantastic, minus the killing.
It had enough humor to actually go around it.
There was enough tomato sauce on the pizza already.
It did. I love
Right.
that scene. That scene was hilarious.
Okay, so
The kitty litter. The kitty litter.
oh yeah,
He violated the kitty litter. That's the first thing that comes into my mind whenever everybody mentions the pizza scene. Even though I know about the comic, it's like, yeah, and there the kitty litter's just sitting there. No cat, but something's in the litter. Anyway.
okay. My number 2 is gonna be the pizza box. It has Kevin Feige's name on it.
I honestly read that and I thought it said Fergie. I was like, wait a minute, what? Just
But
saying.
yeah, I thought that was actually pretty cool as well because, he is the person over at Marvel and stuff like that. So they're just playing a little bit homage to the MCU without having to go into
Homage.
too much. Hey, I'm trying to sound fancy, okay?
Well, no. I think here's what I think. I think it's Tim Miller saying, "Feige, get us out of here. Get us out of here."
Well, in my way, I think it's just a tip of the hat thing where you don't have to do too much. It just gets us fans excited to actually say, oh my god, there's stuff from Marvel in here. Actual stuff from the MCU in here without even having to go through the whole entire set of the emotions of maybe possibly having them in here.
I can imagine Feige sitting there, sipping his soda. And he sees this like, hey! My name! I'm gonna sue him now. Okay, hi, Fox, yes. You used my freaking name! And he
It's
sips
fun.
his soda.
But that was my number 2. So everybody, Roberto, what's your number 3?
Okay, alright, so it's kind of like, there's a ton of them, but I kind of just put it in one category. All the Hugh Jackman either mentions or appearances via not actually Hugh Jackman, because, and I didn't know if we said this before the video started, but spoiler alert, so let me give you 5 seconds of me just talking for you to leave, in case you don't want to hear any more spoilers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, we're good. I know those were Cuban seconds because they're faster than normal. But Hugh Jackman shows up, kind of, sort of, in the movie, and the funniest of which is when, at the end, Deadpool has a picture, I think it's from the the sexiest man, whatever, issue of when Hugh Jackman was on the cover of whatever magazine it is, and he has the face stapled onto his own face, which I thought was absolutely hilarious because I wasn't expecting that at all, and it's like, all right, I see. And the funny thing is that they have the Ryan Reynolds magazine where he was this sexiest man or whatever was at the very beginning of the movie.
Right.
Like, it was like in the first few frames you see the magazine floating across, and I'm like, God's perfect idiot, and I was like, yep, yes, we're in the movie. But that's mine. That's my number 2.
All right, my number 2 is when Wade first goes into the bar.
I thought you were going to say the kitty litter.
Oh, no, not this time. But he goes into the bar, and there's 2 guys sitting at the end of the bar, and he waves at him, talks to him, or whatever. And one of them was actually the creator of Deadpool. How do you pronounce his last name? Rob Liefeld? Liefeld.
Yeah.
Yeah, I noticed it whenever I was actually watching the movie. That was the one I did not have to look up for this.
So where was it? Oh, he actually showed up in the bar.
He has 2 cameos in the movie. The first scene when they're on the bridge, when he's waiting for Ajax's men to come through, and he gets into the car. Whenever the car's flipping, a cup flies by, and it's got RL on that. So that was
Right.
another.
Right. Okay. Okay, but no, I thought he had like 2 appearances in the actual thing. Um.
No.
Okay. Yeah, I did catch that one. The one at the beginning where everything's like slowed down and you get the credits. But I didn't
Right.
know he actually showed up in the movie. That's pretty cool.
All right. Now I'm gonna go with my number 3, which is gonna be the action figure from Wolverine Origins, which I thought that was actually pretty funny because
His most prized possession.
right hit my own. He goes wham. I'm like, I just started busting
Oh,
the thing.
gotta
I
love
just
it.
that was a perfect way to make fun of the Wolverine Origins movie, especially what they did to his mouth. So I thought that was perfect.
Mm.
Perfect well execution. It didn't feel forced. It felt perfectly well done.
None
So
of the movie felt forced, and yet, I mean, it was as forced as you could get, but they did it so brilliantly that everything came off as like natural. It's hilarious because they
agreed.
ripped into everything.
Okay. Number 3 for you.
Yes, okay. It kind of goes along with that. The nod to the alternate timeline when Colossus is dragging Deadpool to the mansion, and Colossus mentions Professor X, and Deadpool's like, McAvoy or Stewart? These whole alternate timeline things get me all funky. And I was like, and Deadpool just made the movie! Yes! I thought that was the best line in the entire movie.
All right, ready for my number 3?
Yeah.
Correct.
All right, mine is all the little Green Lantern nods. I counted 2 for sure in the movie. There may have been a couple of more, but back to the scene where they're in the car on the bridge. One of the guys' wallets fly out, and you can see one of the old little DC trading cards that look like it could have been Green Lantern, may not have been.
Oh.
And then the other one is whenever he's gonna go get his cancer cured, and he's being wheeled in, and he's talking about his superhero suit, and he tells him to not make it
Yeah.
animated or green.
Along that line, there's at the very beginning in the credits, there's a Batman um, logo on the stereo,
Yeah.
and it gets pushed, and you hear for like 3 seconds the Adam West theme song for
Well,
like
and that's
right,
it.
right. But you know what it is. I mean, if you can connect the dots, and I was like, nice, nice. It wasn't enough. It wasn't enough. Just Disney. Now you got to go after WB, which honestly is the better target of the two. But you know.
But still, I thought it was perfect. All right. So number 4 for me would be the Deadpool toys all around the Al's Line Al's apartment. You got to see him placed everywhere and stuff like that. I thought that was actually pretty cool because, it's Deadpool's movie, but what better way to actually have it is to have Deadpool action figures all around the place where she can't even see him herself, and Ryan Reynolds just puts them everywhere. So I just thought that was actually pretty cool.
The IKEA. Put it all together.
I got
Boom.
you.
It's fantastic. My number 4 is the nod to 127 hours, which he just blatantly says, but I thought was still kind of funny, because he blatantly said it. Again, this is right after, I think it was my last one, where I talked about the alternate timelines. This was actually right after that, where Colossus is dragging him, and he's like, yeah, I'm not having any of this. The most gruesome scene in the entire movie, in my opinion. He goes, hey guys, he turns to the camera, hey guys, you ever seen 127 hours? Spoiler alert. Starts playing the violin on his wrist, and cuts his hand off. and then they pan up, and the hand is giving Colossus the finger. I was like, yeah, 127 hours, yeah. Anyway.
My number 4 is to mention. It's the same exact one that was in the X-Men series. It was Lex Luthor's home in Smallville, and it was Oliver Queen's former home in Arrow.
Hmm. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, every one of them's like just different angles, but it's the exact same house.
Hmm.
Pretty cool.
Cool.
I didn't even know that until Timothy brought that up.
I know. I was reading that, and I'm like, I want to wait till he says it because I can't really make sense of it in the writing.
Right. And you know what though? I was like, whenever I first saw that, I'm like, is that Oliver Queen's house? You know, because I felt like the X Mansion and the Oliver Queen house was kind of the same, and I wasn't 100% sure, but it's good to actually know now that it's 100% true that it is, in fact, um, the same house that they used for Arrow at that for the couple of seasons of Arrow. So I thought that
We're gonna get a crossover.
Okay, Roberto. Ignore that. No, it's just don't.
Spoilers! We're gonna get a crossover.
Number 5 for me would be the song "Shoop," because around 1993 is whenever Deadpool came out. In the same year, Salt and Pepper came out with "Shoop," and I thought, and the second time I went to see this movie, I actually wore the Deadpool mask. And I'm over there bobbing my head, just nodding my head and everything, jamming to the music and everything. I just really enjoyed listening to that song in the theater again.
I love how awesome 1993 is because you get Jurassic Park and Deadpool in the same year.
Right.
What? And then me 1 year later.
Well,
I wrote my legend before I was born.
you can be I Am Legend.
Yeah, no, that movie stinks.
Yeah.
Rob Liefeld's like, this guy's gonna be born in a year. I gotta write his legend down.
So we have to put everything together. We have to come up with a better movie listing for him.
Yeah.
Okay, so what's your number 5?
Yep. Oh, mine?
Yeah.
Oh, yes. Okay. Yes. Hi. Sorry. I am not on drugs. I'm not. Okay. So this is. I don't know if it counts as a Easter egg or more rumor-ish, but if you remember at the end of the movie, toward when the big fight scene is going on, Vanessa gets put into the same capsule as Deadpool was when Deadpool. So I'm guessing this is where she gets her powers. We don't see her powers in the movie, but because she's copycat in the comics. So hopefully that's kind of how, if she does, like, if we start out in Deadpool 2, she already has her powers. They'd be like, Deadpool comes on the screen and like, hey guys, remember this? And then rewinds it and then shows where she was in the capsule for like 20 minutes or whatever. And that could explain her origin really quick. I don't think it's a, like, what do you call them? What are we doing? What are they called? I just got off work. My mind's not working. What are we doing here?
So repeat
Huh?
that again.
Like, what are these things that we're doing? I can't remember. I can't put my finger on the word.
Foreshadowing?
No, not foreshadowing. Like Easter eggs. It's not really an Easter egg. It's a rumor / Easter egg if it ends up being true. But that was mine.
Okay.
All right.
I had a massive brain fart there. I'm sorry, guys.
My number 5 is Bob, which would be one of the agents of Hydra in the comics.
You can't say that.
I can. But no, he at the end close to the end of the movie, he finds the guy. He recognizes him as being part of the special ops that they were in. Talked about when they used to hang out at TGI Fridays and stuff. I'm not 100% sure it's the same person from the comics, but it would make sense if
It actually is.
Is it?
Yeah, because they actually had to ask Marvel for permission to use him. They just couldn't mention Hydra, which
Right.
they just called him Bob. But yeah, it's the same character. I was gonna say something about him. I forgot what it was. What was it? I don't know. My mind's not here today.
It's okay. I want to also do some honorable mentions as well with some of the Easter eggs.
Go
So,
ahead.
mention will be whenever the agent's inside the bar and he's actually telling him, "Well, we can cure you," da 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 da, and he references the Matrix. He calls him Agent Smith.
Oh yeah.
So I thought that was actually pretty cool. Then you also have my other favorite part that I died laughing was, "Are you there, God? It's me, Margaret." And that was actually pretty funny because it was pretty much um, it was a reference from the Judy Blume novel. Are you there, God? And that's what made me laugh even more because I actually remember that line from somewhere from another movie I think or somewhere, but I remember where it came from the book. But I thought that was actually pretty funny. Yes, Roberto.
Yes, teacher, thank you. No, I finally remembered what I was going to say because I heard that a lot of people were were like, how come he didn't recognize Stan Lee? How come he didn't recognize Stan Lee? I'm like, it's a strip club and it's Deadpool. You really think that's the first time he's been there?
Right.
Come on, come on, get with the program. But
To
yeah,
me,
I mean, that was just one of those things where I was like, you're really gonna nitpick that one? Because there's so many ways that you could, explain that off.
I felt like that would actually take him out of the character and everything if he would have done that.
Did you hear what he said about his cameo? Like the
Yeah,
only problem he had about his cameo, I was like, oh no, what is he gonna say?
and then the strip club, wishing that he could be in the strip club longer.
So dumb. Man. Stan Lee dies while filming Deadpool. Gets a heart attack at a strip club.
Oh, he can't do anything with a smile on his face.
Yeah.
But that's pretty much my honorable mentions. What other honorable mentions do you?
I wasn't gonna say an honorable mention. I just kind of had a little point of discussion, not really discussion, but just kind of something that's been bothering me because of how the success of Deadpool has been interpreted, and so I wanted to mention that whenever the honorable mentions are over.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
So,
So are they over?
well, Timothy, do you have anything to add?
I do not.
Okay.
Okay. All right. So they're over.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So I don't know if you heard, either you or Timothy, have heard of the fact that apparently Batman vs Superman is getting an R-rated director's cut for home video release.
Actually,
Um, what?
I got some insight on that.
Huh?
I actually got some insight on that.
Oh, give me insight.
Okay, I actually heard that it's not actually true.
Crap!
They said there's a possibility it can be, but
It's Zack Snyder. Come on.
but think of it like this. I mean, it's a Batman versus Superman. It's hard to see Superman in a rated R movie.
But not Batman.
True, but they're both sharing the same screen. So you have to think of it like that too. But
Well, can
I
I
found
say
out
my
though
thing?
from a reliable source that it's actually not true. But they said, keep in mind too that the release of the movie hasn't even come out yet. Therefore, the marketing for it is still going on. So therefore, with them still marketing it and stuff like that, it's hard to actually tell if there's going to be a director's cut or not because it's too so far out right now.
I mean, it could have been to see if it got a bite. They were putting it out. I don't know, like the whole Batman, and I know we're kind of going off on a tangent here, and I'm sorry about that, but the whole Batman v Superman, like, I don't know, like the stuff with Batman is the best Batman ever. I mean, just from the trailers, I can tell it's gonna be the best Batman ever that we've seen on screen. But everything else around Batman, it's like, are we really there, DC? I mean, you have the right to all your characters, and yet the only one you pull off correctly is Batman.
Well, think of it like this: viewing any trailer, there's always a percent rate that the movie could actually go bad for any
Well,
movie.
yeah, except for
So
Deadpool.
the trailers could go good, the advertising and marketing can go good. But once we go in there and see the movie, it could be a
But it
complete.
hasn't. It hasn't. I mean, the only thing that's been good about the marketing, in my opinion, is Batman-related stuff.
Well,
Everything.
the thing is too. I mean, this is a new Batman. We already saw what kind of person Superman is already with Man of Steel. With this, they're trying to get people all of the negative out of the way that people were having about Ben Affleck as Batman. So they're figuring, let's go on ahead and market around him so that we can show people.
I'm not even talking about Superman. I'm talking about everything else, like Dawn of Justice, the Dawn of Justice portion of the movie. Like, I don't know. It feels like they're cramming too much crap into the one.
Well,
Again, and that's just my impression. I could be dead wrong, but that's what I've been seeing.
Don't forget, the movie's also 2 hours and 30-something minutes long. So there's plenty of time to actually put everything together and paste everything together, and then later on introduce the Dawn of Justice without
I
having.
cannot believe that Superman Returns is actually longer than Batman and Superman is going to be.
Yep.
3 hours, almost 3 hours of him flying around and grabbing airplanes. And we can't get 3 hours with half of the Justice League. Come on, Bryan Singer. We should have gotten the Nicolas Cage Superman.
Oh my God.
That would have been better. It would have been more entertaining than 2 hours of, hey, I'm going to lift the rock, and it's kryptonite. It should kill me, but I'm going to lift it anyway. No.
I didn't like.
Worst Lex Luthor ever. Well, maybe. I don't know about Jesse Eisenberg yet. Thus far, worst Lex Luthor ever. Worst, I mean, the story was ridiculously stupid. That movie. And yet, that gets more runtime than a movie that's going to introduce you to basically the entire DC universe.
Well, I agree with you on that. I mean, I feel I didn't like the Superman Returns movie at all. I felt like, yeah, it's a great way to pay respect for the Christopher Reeves movies and stuff like that, but really, it was all about him lifting stuff.
I heard that every time like they would try to do something, like every time they would try to go against Bryan Singer on anything in the movie, he'd pull out a picture of Nicolas Cage dressed up as Superman. And he's like, "You were gonna do this," and I'm like, you know what, Bryan Singer? I wish they had done this because then we wouldn't have had 2 hours of I'm gonna fly.
And also put out
But
with.
and I still want to make my point because I think now with Wolverine reportedly being rated R, unless you have another scoop on that, I think that maybe, and again, before Deadpool, there was already, the new Daredevil was out, Jessica Jones was out on Netflix, so there is that to consider. But I think because Deadpool was so successful, that now there's, and again, maybe that whole thing with the rated R director's cut's not real. But I think now what I think is happening is the executives in the movie world are going to misinterpret the success of Deadpool, meaning they're going to make everything rated R because they wanted to be edgy, and they missed out on the marketing campaign for Deadpool, the fact that Deadpool was always that way, where Superman is not, or half of the MCU is not, unless they do like Moon Knight and Punisher, which we're getting Punisher. But I think that they're misinterpreting that, which could be really dangerous down the road.
Well, this is my opinion on it. And, back before Deadpool
Sorry.
was rated R or whatever, they were talking about maybe possibly making a rated R movie for Wolverine. But what I always felt was this would be a perfect idea for them to actually do it, because this would send Hugh Jackman on his way out. This would actually is a perfect way to actually retire Hugh Jackman's character of Wolverine.
Oh yeah, don't get me wrong, and I mean I love the fact that we might get a rated R Wolverine because he's been completely neutered in all the X-Men films. The only one that had a slight edge to him was the Wolverine where he was in Japan, because he actually could have died in that movie. Maybe. I don't even know. But I mean, I like that he had an edge in that movie. But other than that, all the X-Men films with Wolverine in it, it's kind of like, okay, all right. First of all, where's your suit? Second of all, make somebody bleed. Make somebody bleed. Be like the fan film I saw of Bat in the Sun with Batman versus Wolverine, where they both bled.
Right. No pun intended with Batman versus Superman.
Yeah, I was thinking of that too.
Um,
That could
but
be
you
a
know,
real. If people don't know about Batman or Superman and you ask them, "Do you bleed?" That could turn really bad really quick. Just saying.
right. But another thing that I would have to say too is I believe that it would. I want. This is how I see it for Wolverine. I guess it would send Hugh Jackman on a high note, retiring this character. But I also want to see how Wolverine interacts in a rated R world, surrounded by these characters and everything too, to say, okay, this would actually work in the universe that they're trying to create, rather than putting in a rated R movie just for the sake of having rated R. Because I want the movie to be good. And I don't want something that's just going to be something that's not that great at all because of the fact that yes, Deadpool was rated R. Yes, it did work, but it worked for that character. I don't want it to just be like, I rather quality over quantity anytime. Because I feel like too, if you're gonna end up doing this movie, you need to actually know what you're doing with these characters and not just putting something
Right.
in.
Right. And I mean, it's the basic. Be true to who the character is. Wolverine, a movie with Wolverine could be rated R and should be rated R, but not for the same reasons Deadpool is rated R. Um, Thor works. Iron Man, Captain America, Hulk is the one that should get a rated R movie at some point, but we both know that's not going to happen soon. Um, but all those can live in a PG-13 world and get by with a lot of stuff because a lot of it's magic. You don't really see killing. It's not like, for example, like Punisher, which we will get to see, like Daredevil, which we saw on Netflix, where you have actual blades cutting people open and like it's hard hitting and it's really violent. Um, so, I mean, it's just be true to who the character is, and you'll be fine. I mean, I'm looking forward to the whole Warner Brothers slate. I mean, I think that Suicide Squad is going to be really edgy, and it should be, because all those characters are really edgy. Um, but don't do Batman vs Superman or Suicide Squad for a Wonder Woman film, because I don't think that fits. Or for a Cyborg film or Shazam, because I don't think that fits. But we'll see. I mean, like I said, I'm excited for where they're taking it, and I'm excited for where it's going to go. And as far as the whole debacle's concerned, I love DC and I love Marvel, so stick it.
There we go. Is there anything that you want to add, Timothy, or
I was gonna say that I think that that Deadpool worked rated R because of the humor. It wasn't because of the violence. I didn't care about getting to see that anyways. I just wanted his sarcastic sense of humor. But rated R X or Wolverine, I don't think it would get the same reaction as the Deadpool. I don't think as many people wouldn't care if it was rated R or PG-13.
that's actually a good
I
point.
could see that, yeah. Yeah. And I mean, the problem is nowadays you can push the boundary of PG-13 to such a degree that you can get by with a lot of stuff. I mean, I think PG-13 allows for one F word, but other than that, it's pretty liberal in the
More than
rating.
more than one F word leads you into, I think it's like maybe more than like maybe three F words leads you into a rated R.
Right. Which again, Wolverine is hyper violent, not hypersexual, or he doesn't have a potty mouth like Deadpool
Well,
does. So it's for different reasons.
but that's pretty much that. Um,
I went off on a tangent.
yeah, you did just a little bit, just a little, but it'll be all right.
I brought it back to Deadpool.
Yes, you did.
Yeah.
So, anyways,
Let's talk about Civil War. I'm just kidding.
All right. So does anybody else have anything more to add, or
Deadpool should cameo in X-Men Apocalypse.
that would be awesome just to see that part? I'm making fun of Apocalypse.
Or making fun of the fact that he's in a PG-13 film and he can't be as bad as he wants to be.
I saw a
Right.
meme. I saw a meme the other day that I want him to do if he cameos in an X-Men movie. Have it to where, like you were saying, you're allowed one F-bomb for a PG-13 movie. So have it to where he's just saving up for that perfect time to drop it, and then right when he's about to, Wolverine does it.
Oh yes! Oh, that would be great.
Oh yeah.
Like right at the end of the movie too, when it's all over. Like, all right, here we go. And then Wolverine is like with a cigar in his mouth.
Or another thing too that I would like to see was to see Deadpool do is this. Oh, okay, you're real threatening, Apocalypse. You're just as cuddly. You're just as threatening as a teddy bear. That I would like to cuddle with it, not because you're PG-13.
See, I would like to see like like Apocalypse like smashes him in the floor, and he like you remember in the Mask, like when he lands on the floor and he's all gooey and then he gets back up, something like that, where like Deadpool goes like, he gets back up. Just saying, it could work.
Right, I think it could work too. But
Now we want Deadpool in everything. Deadpool's gonna show up in Batman vs Superman, guys. That's what they're fighting at the end of the movie. It's not gonna be Doomsday. No, 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 no.
So, on a high note, I would like to actually thank Roberto for joining us for this video for the Easter eggs.
The pleasure is all yours.
And you can actually catch him on the movie channel. And you can also catch Timothy, the Merc with the Mouth, anytime that we actually do videos on here on Movie Lovers Unite. And he's also one of the admin for my movie page, so is Roberto. Until next time, have a good night, and God bless.